Test 1, 2.
Good morning, everyone. We still have seats available if folks need seats on my right and in the front. All right, I'd like to welcome you all. Y'all hear me okay? Excellent. I'd like to welcome you all. My name is Robert Green. I'm with Online Services, and I'm here to help kick off today's activities. Before we begin, I want to share a quick note about our QA process. We set up a form where you can submit questions for our speakers as they present. And as time allows, we have Connor and Jeff. They will be taking your questions and bringing up to the presenters. If we run short of time, I don't want you to worry. We'll gather those responses and share them out later, okay? We truly have a fantastic day planned, and I'm so glad that each of you is with us today. To officially welcome us and to graciously open up LSC-Kingwood for Curriculum Team Day, I'd like to welcome y'all and join, excuse me, please join me in welcoming to the stage Dr. Gonzalez.
All right. Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing? Are we excited? Thank you for everybody. A round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, this is the official welcome to Lone Star College-Kingwood. We are so honored and pleased for you to join us this beautiful morning doing wonderful work. And again, I used to be faculty back in the day, and I believe that we are, I say we as faculty, always faculty, ground zero, right? Of where everything starts and we do the work. And so I give you a lot of applause and I give you a lot of props for everything that you're doing for our students, for our community, and for each other. I know that we're all here together to accomplish that. So again, thank you so much. We are looking forward to a beautiful day. Just a couple of highlights that I want to share about our beautiful campus. We have a beautiful new Coyote Care Center right across the hall. And so if you have time, just go in there. We just opened it up this past semester in the spring in February. And so again, thank you, Dr. Wright. Yes. So that's there. And then we just opened up our, we're going to call it some other, we don't want to call it just a bookstore, but Coyote something, but our merchandise and bookstore, we just started that one also, but that's in CLA. Again, beautiful. So great things are happening here at Kingwood, but again, thanks to you that we're all, again, one LSC. So thank you so much. Welcome and have a wonderful day. And I'm going to turn it over to our interim chief academic officer and colleague, Christina Hagerty.
Walk around, guys. There's the clicker. They didn't click her picture. We had a picture. Hold on. That was the QR code. If you have any questions throughout the day, please utilize them. There we go. There we go. Dr. Gonzalez, your picture. Sorry. Questions again. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm so glad that you joined us today. And for some of you coming from the Cy-Fair or UP campus, I appreciate your long drive if you live in that direction. But good morning. As Dr. Gonzalez just mentioned, your work is important, and thank you for showing up. And showing up is the first step. So please note, your work is important. It's not a day just to come and eat breakfast and leave. That is not the intention at all. We need your help. We need your expertise. You are the subject matter expert, and your work and passion matter to us. And so please, please use this time to work with your colleagues. So to begin, I want to give a couple of quick updates and not to go into major detail, but as you know, simple syllabus. I see Jennifer, smile, love it. It's a new tool. It's here, right? So the reality is, number one, I just want to give some props out to Robert Green's online service team and Larry Maps. Larry, where are you? And Robert, Larry's back there. Poor Larry, you guys, I say, don't shoot the messenger. Larry's team is doing the fantastic job of doing one of my rollouts. Okay. I take ownership of Simple Syllabus tool. It is the tool that I chose to adopt through an RFP process. And so I take responsibility for that. But I promise it's gonna be it's gonna move in a positive direction. Just I want to leave you with 2 points. One, we do have a SIS system, PeopleSoft, and so you have to understand Simple Syllabus has to interact with that system. And so there are sometimes some bumps in the road when you integrate two technologies together. So with that understanding, just know Larry's team and Anna and all the technologists and programmers are having to do a lot of back-end work to get some patches and things going with that integration. So that is a big step, and that's a big overhaul. We're a large system. And two, please note that we made a decision when we adopted the Simple Syllabus, and I met with the Faculty Senate, and we decided to move forward. We had to set it up in one particular path. We had to make a decision, and that decision was to set up Simple Syllabus by location. Because Lone Star College, we are married to our locations. And so we want Cy-Fair to have their own syllabi, Montgomery to have their own syllabi, and so on. So in that, with that decision, there's some unintended decision-making that needs to happen further. So it does sometimes limit some of the things we can do based on purely how we're structured. So to kind of keep your identity, I had to make some decisions on keeping your own campus syllabi versus integrating us as one. And when you say, hey, U of H or Ferris State or all these other universities who use Simple Syllabus and it seems a little more seamless, well, number one, they have probably a different SIS. Two, they're structured very different. They're like College of Education. If we had English as English for the whole Lone Star College, that rollout would have been a lot less it would a lot less disruptive for the online team. So we try to keep your identity in this process by location, and doing that, again, please note that there is just some things we couldn't, predict or try to, integrate into this to make it smoother. But we're doing our best. And number two, training. We heard you loud and clear during the summer, the pilot group. Thank you. Who in here did the pilot? Participation, raise your hand. Thank you very, very much. Your feedback was well received and taken, and we heard you. We knew Larry's team is doing the best they can for the online rollout and training the trainer. And each campus has their own designated individuals who will be assisting you to, basically troubleshoot any questions that you have. So please note that we're doing the best we can to monitor the training. We heard the video. You didn't receive that very well, the first videos, and we understood. We wanted more interactivity of those sessions, so we started doing more live virtual synchronous sessions and as well as in-person sessions. So you should have that at every campus. So if you don't have those going on, please let me know. I want to make sure those get done. But just give us a little grace. I promise, as any adoption of anything that's new to the college, there's going to be a little bit of just, hiccups along the way. But again, it's not intended to make your life difficult. Play with the tool. I have already heard some, say, hey, I've told my people don't use it. It's not really what I want to hear, because the reality of the matter is we don't want y'all all waiting to try to use it for the first time in 8-week 2. So if you're a VPI, raise your hand. Where are my VPIs? Come on. Be willing. And I want to thank them because they had a lot of back end work of setting up the reporting structure. So thank you guys. I know it was a lot of work, but we are doing our best to get the approval process. Once a faculty member submits their syllabi, it'll go to the approver, which would be the dean in case of a full-time faculty, or chair if it's adjunct. And hopefully that's routed correctly. But if you have any questions, please work with your campus leadership to get that managed and taken care of, and then we can help on our end. Okay, so that's Simple Syllabus. Again, hard rollout, 8-week 2 if you're teaching in 8-week 2. So basically, if you only have 16-week or 12-week or 14, you're not going to use, it's not going to have to be required for this fall semester, but I do ask that you please try to take the training as well as, you know, go in and utilize it. Find it under your course management and at least know where it is. Okay. D2L gradebook. Reminder, Lone Star College adopted the use of gradebook for all courses. So I'm just, as your Chief Academic Officer, this is one of our compliance issues, and I really need your help to ensure that we're passing on that message. Please utilize the gradebook in D2L. Now, something new, years ago, Dr. Smith, my predecessor, he did allow for the exception to the embedded dual credit instructors not to utilize the gradebook in D2L. Well, there are some hiccups along the way with that. Number one, it's also for me reporting on behalf of Lone Star College, faculty are faculty are faculty. In one hand, when we say we treat dual credit faculty the same and equal, even if they're at the high school, we have to treat them the same here as all faculty. So in doing that, we've got to march to and honor what we say. And by doing that is transitioning our embedded dual credit instructors to begin utilizing the D2L gradebook. It's protected. Again, I don't have access, nor do your VPIs as CAOs per their campus. They can't go into so-and-so ISD Canvas or Schoology to access grades or do any administrative rights to that particular LMS. Our official Lone Star College LMS is endorsed by our office as well as protected in security. And I tell you what, our OTS manages a lot of security under Chris Williams as the Chief Information Officer. There's a lot of things that happen on a day-to-day basis at Lone Star College through our system. So they do enough and they manage a lot. So to help them, we have to stick by what we adopt and what they can support. And that is D2L as our official LMS. So we will be working with campuses to help roll that out and train the ISDs. So be looking for that if you're a department chair who work with dual credit. It's coming, and I know it's kind of a lift for a lot of those dual credit embedded instructors. We will have this academic year to work through that. It's not overnight, so just give it some time. Next, G5. I'm one of the tier owners of Goal 5, myself and Dr. Dempsey, president at Lone Star College UP. And this work is under, really, it supports the workforce and academic quality. And as you heard our chancellor, the biggest, to quote and, somewhat quote him, our goal is to ask ourselves, are students better off after they complete one of our programs? And so that is the magical answer that we're looking for. And to do that, that requires us to start collecting data. And so some of you, well, I'd say 99% of you, if you have a workforce program and you are considered a high demand field, which we'll show you, and you will be identified later on in the semester, you will begin to prepare the cost per student. And who are my nursing faculty in here? So any radiology or sonography, I'm trying to think of OTA, PTA, most of those programs, you already do this. You send out a student list of what are your textbooks going to cost for your duration of your program? What are your uniforms going to cost? The criminal background, the immunizations, so on, uniforms, whatever. You already have that. There's going to be a template that we plan to send out this semester. So my ask is be looking out for that, and you will have to begin to provide us with the cost per student in order to help satisfy some of the Goal 5 data that we're looking for. And it'll be before the end of the semester. So just be looking for that. It's nothing of major ask today, purely other than just a conversation, or ask each other around campus to campus. If you're already using a template and you're already gathering, how do you collect it or how do you calculate it? You will probably need some assistance with your VIPAD at your local campus if you need support. So, and also T structure. We have what T structure, does anybody know what that means? Okay. Goal T, anyone? Okay. Well, a tier, yes. So under the Goal 5 work, every chancellor's goal has obviously the goal itself. And then those who are assigned to it, or those who participate in the work, which really, if you think about it, it's all of us. We all have a role in one of the goals. This is starting from whether it's my name is listed down to Dr. Zook or Mariveles and how they assist in that goal, in that data collecting. You're a T. Everyone in here, if you're a part of a workforce program, you're going to be listed because you're the ones in front of the students, right? So your structure and your support all the way down of how you support that particular goal will be listed. So some of you will be just tapping certain teams to verify all our T structures. We've kind of done a lot of the legwork for you, but just know we're trying to confirm some of that information. So T means person responsible or that contribute, individuals who contribute up to the goal and participation. Program develop. Okay, everybody remember, raise your hand if you remember the wheel. I know you do. Some of you choose not to, but I know you do. I know. Okay, so last year I announced that we dissolved Workforce Council, and part of that process, and we dissolved the wheel. And the reason why is because Workforce Council was a step in that, and we had to reimagine our priorities and our goals for the workforce wheel. Didn't mean all the steps went away. It just means we refined, reimagined, and really we gave back ownership to the campuses to develop their own programs through campus leadership. You'll see your presidents have that onus on the programs of choice at each college. And again, depending on what programs they're choosing or expanding, just note it's coming from the campus level, not system saying you have to have this program. Okay, so we are reimagining some of those steps, but we will be sharing that process out this fall. After it receives all its final approvals, you will see that particular document soon. Program review. Remember the annual report cards for programs? We have reimagined that because we listened over the years, and I was part of that. I was like, my data is never right in those things. And so we took the time through Dr. Mariveles' office and Jeff Roberts, who now has assessment institutional effectiveness. We have revisited, we changed some steps, but we hope that it's really to benefit you and to really have your program data shine and really show and tell the story of your programs. So just give us a minute. You will see that coming out soon as well. Okay, so part of goal 5 and all of the work, this is, I know you can't read it, but this is a dashboard that determines where all our programs are listed based on their high demand and order. And we will talk about it more at a different time. It's just, I wanted to just share with you, if you already kind of see your name, you're considered one of these programs of high demand and your workforce. So you will be a part of G5 as well as having to produce that cost per student. So just, I know you can't see it, we'll share it with you, but you will have more information to come on that. Any questions? I'm just going to stop right there. This is a dashboard for goal 5. We'll have access to it. I just want to kind of leave you with that.
There hasn't been a question yet, but a request to please remind faculty to upload syllabi in the traditional manner in iStar for 16-week, 8-week 1 and late start classes.
Correct. Okay, so through feedback, because we allowed the extension of the full rollout of simple syllabus, we had to, again, remember for loading it to your website, because it is a Texas code that says that we have to publicly view all syllabi. Some of you who are using simple syllabus, that would be easy. You would be compliant, and once it's there, it's there. However, it was decided that to eliminate confusion, everyone still upload to the website. And so, yes, that means we made a decision to extend it, but that does put some additional work on you, and that means posting it on the website as you would any other semester. So continue doing that as well as your CV upload if you're new or revising that. Any questions about that? Okay, full year academic. The auto drop feature is on. I've received that question. There was some hiccups through PeopleSoft and Dr. Jamie Posey's area and Connie Garrett. They have fixed it, and so it's moving. You have a question? Sorry. Sure. What it's gonna do, well, no, it's gonna, to publish it, it's gonna go to a page that's owned by Lone Star for simple syllabus. It's a designated page that will publish for you. You don't have to, once we start using it, you will no longer have to do that. It'll take the place of that step. Question? Okay, so full year schedule, auto drop is on, so note that's going on. G2 curriculum team, you will hear from a guest in just a minute, Dr. Quentin Wright, president of Houston North, and he will discuss some of that. Academic affairs post reorg. I hope all of you received our directory. We did have a reorg in my area, and we provided all the contacts, like if you need help building a program or you need help with accreditation. We provided a list of names as well as their individual support functions for your campus. We'll be sending out again. And I wanted to welcome Dr. Laura Bentoncourt. She has joined the academic affairs team. She will be assisting us. So that is the newest addition to academic affairs. Some of you have said, yeah, so where's Laura? Not here today. But I wanted to make sure you know and give her a welcome. So she is excited. She's working on a lot of great things for us. So we'll be announcing what she takes on here soon as well. But you will see her in our directory, and then the team that will be reporting to her soon. It's still in the works, so I can't divulge yet. And then SB 37. Some of you have come, and there's pieces of Senate Bill 37. And I just want you to know my office is probably managing about, I don't know, 50, 60, numerous. I can't even count anymore. Legislative, as you know, the legislative session had ended, and that means new laws. And it's fun new laws that impact some of how we operate. So if you feel that impact with me, I'm so sorry, but there's just things that we have to change to evolve and maintain Texas code, right? So one of them I've received so many questions about is SB 37 core curriculum. There are pieces, if you read it, it talks about the review and every 5 years, and then the board has to participate in that, which they already do. Remember, we always do a board agenda item anytime we add to the core. So that's always been happening. But there are some internal processes of curriculum review that we may have to revisit and procedurally just document, even if it's obviously through still curriculum teams. So more to come. I'm having to develop a proposal in order to respond to that legislative action. So again, there's just a lot of things happening in my office, and we're trying to get to it. But the other piece is THECB review of the curriculum. I received a notification from Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board that they are asking for volunteers to serve on a review to revisit the general education core in the state of Texas. And, you know, what I hear and what I understand is they're asking us to reduce the core, the amount of credit hours in the core. So more, I know it's been reduced and reduced. 42, I'm hearing rumors and even down to 30. I can't vouch for it yet. That's the point of this work. I did throw my name in the hat to represent Lone Star College to hopefully, so what they're doing is the state is asking for a committee to come together from representatives of university and community colleges, technical schools. You know, there's a mixture to sit and roundtable and duke out, I guess, the core. So I asked to serve on that. I don't know if I've been selected, but if I haven't, we will still be attuned to what's happening. I just want everyone to know, because your curriculum, and if you're a part of the core, this does affect you. And what that looks like, it hasn't been determined. But I just want you to know I will keep you abreast of the information as I get it. But it will impact everyone in this room. So more news to come. So I will always keep you updated on that. And I'd like to introduce Dr. Megan Mariveles, who's me, but kind of. She's Swiss Army knife again. Remember Swiss Army knife?
Woo-woo, nurses. Yeah, actually, up until this morning, that picture was a Swiss Army knife. So that's the same outfit I'm wearing right now. Thank you, Jeff Roberts, for taking that picture this morning. So I didn't look like a Swiss Army knife. I appreciate you. Oh, did I go backwards? Here we go. I just have a few updates for you guys. There's a couple of new tiles in academic affairs. within your academic affairs tile. Everybody knows where the academic affairs tile is, correct? Okay. The one really new one is the professional learning and growth and institutional service tile. This is where you will go to input your 30/30. Remember, there was a board policy change last year that we removed the 70/20/10 and we moved to 30 combined hours of professional learning and growth and institutional service in each long semester. So I do want to give a special shout out to Dr. Roger Chambers, who did so many rounds of testing with me on this tile. So thank you, Roger, for that. But the tile is now available for use. So it is a tile. It is not in the talent profile any longer. I've gotten a few questions about that. How come this looks weird in talent profile? It's because we're not using that anymore. So within your academic affairs tile, there is a tile specifically for this. Do not go into talent profile to try to enter this information. Also, within your academic affairs tile, I'm not sure if you knew this, but there is a tile that's called faculty job aids. Did you know that? There's a job aid for this tile in there. So if you need that, it's there. Please use the job aid. All right. The faculty credentials tile, that tile's been there for a hot minute already. There have been multiple updates that we've been working on along the way. Thank you to anybody in this room who participated in our testing and our feedback groups, because there were many along the way. Thank you to Dr. Jeff Roberts and Michelle Simon. That tile is available for use. And by the way, faculty credential tile, AKA initial hire worksheet. Same thing, okay? So that tile is available for use. We actually had some recent, in our last testing and updates, some additional changes that are going to be made, but it is available for use now. I will tell you that Dr. Jeff Roberts, who oversees faculty credentialing, is going to be rolling out some training. So, but it is available for use.
In conjunction with OTS.
In conjunction with OTS. But there is also a job aid available for that tile as well. The faculty credentials tile, so AKA initial hire worksheet, there's actually a tile for that, okay? Where is academic affairs located? I get that question a lot. Where are y'all? We're all over the place. That's the best answer I can tell you. Main office is really UP, System Office UP Building 11. Most of us house on the 5th floor. So if you're ever looking for us, that's where we are. Of course, it is a lockdown unit, so you can't just walk in. But that is where we live. We also have some people that house permanently at System Office The Woodlands, like Amy Ramirez and her team. So we're kind of all over the place. So just, but that is our 2 primary locations. So I just wanted to tell you that. Super quick update on our 5th bachelor's program that we're in the process of trying to get approved. That is our Bachelor's of Applied Science in Early Childhood Education and Teaching. We have submitted applications to both THECB and SAC-COC, and we are waiting for that. So our target implementation date is fall 2026. And we have hired our executive director, who's going to oversee that bachelor's degree and also oversee the alternative teacher certification program. And that's Rebecca Size, and she's sitting right here. So if you haven't met her, please meet her. Ellen? Yeah, so the way that it works is the faculty will input their hours, and then when they've hit that 30 mark, they hit submit, and that's when it goes to you. Yeah. So the cool thing is that you can, if you're I want to wait till the end of the semester to enter all my hours, you can do that. You'll, add a form and you'll just add all your hours there, hit 30, click submit, go. If you are, I want to do it as I go, it also allows that option. You can add your form and then you'll just go in and be updating that same form all semester long. Hit that 30, hit submit, and it goes for approval. We did structure it, and thank you, Roger. This was also, I'm just plugging you a lot today, Roger. But we did structure it such that, because the way that the board policy is worded is 30 in each long semester, right? So what we did is you'll add one form for fall to get to your 30 in the fall. But for the spring one, we actually titled it spring/summer. Because we know some faculty continue their PD and gives you that opportunity to finish those 30 hours actually through the summer. Your own campus leadership, though, will give you, if they have other directions for how they want you to do this and timelines, you're going to get that from your VPIs and your deans at your campuses. Okay? Any other questions about that? Yes, ma'am.
Currently, if the faculty credentials form is submitted and if it's rejected because maybe there's a minor something that needs to be changed, you can't actually edit it at all. You have to recreate the entire document. Do you know if that's going to be changing at some point?
I think that was part of the changes. And actually, I believe in this next iteration, if Michelle Simon is in the room, she probably will remember because she takes better notes than me in these meetings. But I believe there's actually going to be an option for when it gets to the dean can actually edit it at that point. And so that would kind of eliminate, like if there was something small that needed to be edited, it allows that function now while it's still moving through approvals. Get in there and play with it. If you run into any issues while you're using it, please send me an email. You can email me, you can email Dr. Jeff Roberts. Either one of us will try to help you. I troubleshooted with somebody the other day on the phone. I feel it may have been Steve Kayla. Yeah, we're more than willing to help you with that. Also with the professional learning and growth tile, if you have any issues with that, please don't hesitate to just shoot me an email and I'll try to help walk you through that as well. Okay. Any other questions?
We do have a couple of questions that had come in online, technically for Dr. Hagerty. And also one kind of a general announcement. Anyone from Tomball that was trying to sign in this morning was perhaps having some issues with your campus not being in the dropdown. I'm told that has now been fixed. So if you would like to sign in, I just wanted to make that general announcement. There was a question with relation to House Bill 2615's restrictions on remote work for faculty. And
not us.
That is, I say ran through my office. However, individual campus cabinet members will manage that. But I'm sure they're talking about it at the campuses. That'd be my guess.
And then there was a second question. If the number of core hours is being reduced, how does that impact workforce programs in terms of the 2015 mandate to reduce credit hours to 60?
Yeah, and I think,
Okay.
Dr. Hagerty, do you want to take?
I mean,
I think we just don't know yet. Because we don't know what the reduction is going to be. We don't know. You want to go?
Yeah, well, I mean, it shouldn't have much of a, they're at 15 for workforce. So if anything, it's just going to have your more additional, your welcome courses, you know, if you're a workforce. Oh, Michael Young.
Michael Young.
Thank you, Michael. Anything else? Sorry.
if there are any, if anyone has questions, please do submit through the QR code and we will be happy to address those when we have a moment.
I think there's one more. Yeah, I think. And by the way, guys, those of y'all that are standing up in the back, there's the hot seats in the house are right here on this front row. Just letting you know, okay? Because I'm not the last one up here. Oh, I just went backwards again. Okay, I just put this up here just for a visual. I just want to show you how important the work that you do is. All the work that starts out at the curriculum teams, you guys are the heart of everything. And all of those things and all the decisions you make and all of the proposals that move forward, all of that gets entered into Kowali, which is our curriculum management system, thanks to Amy Ramirez and her curriculum management team. That then spits out to multiple locations. So that then speaks to the catalog. It speaks to the program of study pages. It does speak to iStar in some functions, or it triggers some other department to do things in iStar. So there is a method to the madness. And I just wanted you to kind of see that process, but it all starts with you. So thank you for being here today. And I hope you have a good day and I hope you have a good start to your semester. I'm gonna hand it back over to Dr. Hagerty.
Thank you, Dr. Mariveles. Okay, so next up, please welcome, again, more questions we'll be answering. Please welcome Dr. Quentin Wright, the president of Houston North. He will be talking to you briefly about Goal 2 and what that means and all the work behind it. Sit down.
Okay, for those of you who want to be a college president, that was my pre-presidential picture. All right. For you all today, I'm talking to you. You just heard a little bit about the goal structure. I am the G2 owner for T1 owner for the goals. As you know, we started out with 5 that went before the board of trustees a couple of years ago. We're now up to 7. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about G2 today, go through some information. Some of this information you know, but we're going to start with some foundational discussions and then move on to the major announcement. We now have a graduation goal that we're going to be reaching for. So let's just kind of get started. This is the overview. We're going to talk about the goals. We're going to talk a little bit about data definitions because those of you that have gone through Power BI, we have a whole lot of different data sets, and that can become very confusing. So we're trying to take that on right now. We're going to talk about the first year retention update, which was the first part of Goal 2, go to graduation rates, and then we have a request that we want to talk about with some charges. So let's kind of go into this goal. If you can see here, there's a lot to G2. This is what went to the board. This is going to look at first year retention rates, graduation rates, part-time, full-time outcomes, underrepresented graduation rates, and Pell. There's a lot of components to it. So let me show you where we are right now. We have taken on the retention rate. We got that done, right? So we're heading in a good direction on that, part-time, full-time. Today, we're going to talk about the graduation rate. We've just now got to that point, but then we're going to move into talking about the targets for the full and part-time. What we still have to get done is the underrepresented graduation rates and Pell, and we're going to take that on this fall. And we could use help. What we're trying to do is set targets and goals so we can work on initiatives to get there. Everybody kind of with me there so far? So that's the goal in itself. So let's kind of talk a little bit about data definitions. And let me tell you the reason why I'm telling you this. As you heard, have you heard the chancellor talk about we want to be an Aspen Institute? Have you all heard this? So Aspen allows us to be able to be compared to other institutions nationally, okay? So the important thing to know is that that data set is a little different than the data set you see when you look at first-time and college students. That's our institutional data set. And this is the other part of it. If the data that goes to the coordinating board, that's a whole different data set. You kind of follow me there? So the reason why I'm bringing this up here, not that I want to go over definitions, all of the G2 goals are related to what we call iPads. And that's because we're trying to compare ourselves nationally. You follow me there? And that's a little different than the data set when you go to a Power BI and you pull down FTIC. And so right now, we're working on naming definitions, so you will know that FTIC 0, that's going to the coordinating board. If you see iPads, FTIC, you know that this is what we're tracking for our graduation and retention goals. All right, so there's a lot of work. There's a data dictionary being created, so that way you'll know which set to use depending on the purpose, because if you have a grant, there's a different set. If you go in the coordinating board, there's a different set. So there's a lot of work happening right now to get that done. The first rollout is going to be this month, and then we're going to work on it all fall, so that way we can have a full rollout in the spring for you for that. Now, with that said, let's talk a little bit about the first goal that the board told us to look at, and that is retention. And so retention is simply taking the students for one fall semester, first time in college, according to iPads, and how many of them are coming back the next semester. So that was the first goal the board wanted us to look at. We set these targets, and this is the way we did. So each campus had a target, and we kind of approached this in a way that I got to tell you, I have some regrets with now, but at the time, we were trying to get in the game and trying to get to a point where we're competing with the top institutions. So we set kind of some aspirational goals. And so the target that we have is that by 2027, we're going to have an FTIC, first time in college, iPads retention rate of 65.22%. Now, if you want to know how we got there, we based that off of the fall 22 cohort, fall 23 retention, which then means that we try to say, hey, 5% up, that puts us among the top in the country. So we have some comparison, about 8 comparison institutions that we're looking at that are large in size, that's kind of like us, a Valencia College, and Miami-Dade, different things of that nature. And we're trying to get to the point where we're in the mix with them. So this is the thing, we set a yearly goal. We're saying, hey, we'll try to get increased by just 1.25%. And guess what, guys? We increased by 1.27%. So we reached the goal, right? So we're really excited about that. Now, this is the part that I'm telling you about in the campuses here. And like I said, I have some regrets here. We try to say, hey, how can every campus contribute in their own way? So the goal was just this. What we're going to do is that every campus was going to try to get to 65.22%. And then once getting to that point, if you get there early, just maintain it, right? So if you look at UP, they're already there. How many people are from UP here today? All right, you're already there, right? You're already there. So keep doing what you're doing, right? Keep doing what you're doing. And so it's the idea of maintaining. So we're going to try to increase every year. So what you see here are the targets for the fall 24 cohort. So by the end of the fall, we're going to go and look at where we're at. And what you see in bold, that's where we hope that we will be at that point. Follow me there? All right. And I feel pretty good right now. I saw some preliminary data. We're getting there. We really are getting there. We're doing very well there. Just show you a little retention highlights. I want to point out this one, and that's the part-time, full-time. If you look, we're already there when you look at full-time students. We're doing exceptionally well. With part-time, there's a gap, and that's not uncommon. It's not uncommon. But this is the thing, guys. I know you believe like I believe. There's no difference between your full-time students and the part-time. Part-times are just as capable. However, if we can figure out that puzzle, and we can figure that out, and we can lift the part-time students up, then guys, we will get there quickly. And so I wanted to just point that out. That's just kind of show you some insight of how we improve there. Now, that's retention. So let me move on and now talk to you about graduation. The goal that we set for graduation is that this incoming fall 25 cohort will have a 150% graduation rate of 25%, right? So when you say 150% graduation rate for a traditional associate's 2-year degree, that's a 3-year graduation rate. You follow me there? So it's a 3-year graduation rate. And so I put this up here because when you say 25% and you want to look into some context, guys, we've come a long way. So look at where we were in fall of 2017, the cohort that finished in the summer of 20. We're at 13%, right? So we jumped a lot. Because we jumped so much, we took kind of a different approach to setting the goals this time around by campus, and you'll see that on the next slide. What we did is we took the assumed cohort, and we're assuming that we're probably gonna have about 10,700 students in this next cohort. And every campus came together and said, this is how many students we think we will graduate from that cohort. And then we calculated the rate. And that's how we got to the 25%. It's gonna be one of those things that I know we can get there, but we're gonna have to be very intentional in how we get to this graduation rate. And this is the thing I wanna point out to you. When we do this, once again, we're among the top in the state and we're competing among the top in the country. Follow me there, right? So we're well on our way. Now let's talk a little bit about where at the campus levels, and you see the targets that we have. These are the targets by campus that we're gonna try to get to. Every campus kind of increased by a percentage point, up to 2 percentage points. I will say, I wanna just quickly say with these particular rates, like UP, they just said that they wanted to push even more, but I'm gonna be honest with you, when you get to the point of having a 30% graduation rate, it's gonna be hard to move up further. One of the questions I often get is, what about students that transfer? And this is what I gotta tell you about that. You do have reverse transfer, but guys, we gotta get that within 3 years. Does that make sense? So a lot of times that's not calculated in overall graduation rate, not just for us, for anyone. So that's one of the reasons why we're trying to be reasonable and have some attainable goals, but that still stretch us when it comes to setting graduation rates. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about This is a bigger operational challenge than we've ever had in the sense of how we're going to approach this. The way we've always looked at graduation degrees is that we looked at the raw number of graduates, right? And the way you calculated that is that when a student finished their career and they finished out, all their credits, we looked and found which campus did they have the most credits from, and that campus received the count. Does that make sense? The way we're moving forward now, we're calculating rate. So every campus in fall 25 is going to get a cohort, and that's going to be their cohort for the next 3 years, right? So what does that mean? If a student comes over at Kingwood and is part of Kingwood's cohort, and then that person decides to take all of their classes over at Cy-Fair, guess what? They're still part of Kingwood's cohort. Does that make sense? So it's going to require a type of collaboration that we haven't had before, but we're well capable of. We have not been cohort tracking to this degree, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going to get there. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about the charges for a minute. So I talked to you about the FTIC data standardization. We're working on trying to relieve some of the confusion of all the different data sets. The charge that you're going to get some emails about is this idea. You remember a few years ago with Texas Pathways, you all created full and part-time pathways. Working on this time 3-year pathways, updating what you have and getting there. I'm going to explain to you in the next slide why we need to do that. Cohort tracking that I just told you about is kind of a big thing that we want to look at. Those targets for the rest of goal 2 that I had on the first slide, that's one of the things that we're going to try to wrap up this semester, and then figuring out what we're going to do initiative-wise to be able to get there. What is it practices that we have to adjust, system level and campus, right? Those are the 5 things we're looking at with G2 this year. So let me tell you why we're asking for the degree maps plan. To get to 150% graduation rate, right, it generally means that we're trying to get students to graduate in 3 years. If you look at our average graduate now, they graduate in 4.1 years, right? So we got to get that down, right? So that's one of the reasons for these maps. Something that we can hand to advisors, something in which we can implement within our culture. Hey, when a student comes to us, hey, this is how you graduate in 3 years. They may or may not be able to do it, but we want to get to the point that that's our language. Follow me here? Now, this is the other part of it. To be able to get there, on average, you need to be able, students need to enroll in about 3 courses per semester and a couple of summer courses. That's typically. Right now, students enroll in an average of 2.1 courses. That's our average, right? So we need to get up to that 3 course. So what we ask you to do is help develop that map and that pathway so that way we can advise students and we can get students to just start thinking that way, right? It'll be a process. I admit it'll be a process, but we will get there, right? This is our first graduation goal. We will have graduation goals after this, right? This is just the progress to get there. And for workforce credentials, I know this is a question. 150% graduation rate depends on the length of your credential. So if it's a 12-month credential, like a certificate, then your 150% graduation rate is 18 months. You follow me there? Right? And so that's kind of how we're going to get there. So guys, I'm going to wrap up here, and this is just what I want to show you. It's anytime you talk about targets and goals, I know how challenging, I know the anxiety that can cause, but I want to let you know where we have been. In fall 2020, our course success rates, and I don't know if you all remember, there was a few years in which the chancellor talked yesterday about the graphs and different things of that nature. Every year we talked about course success rate. That was a big deal. I don't know if you all remember that. Fall 2020, we were at 70%. This year, we're at 80%. That's incredible, right? You see the increase we had in our first year retention, and you see this incredible jump that we've had in graduation rates. The point is we're well capable of doing it. The thing that I've learned about this particular system, we start talking about success rates, and then they came, is that generally if we just start talking about it enough, then we figure it out. And I could tell you during that time period, what was so special is that you can't really point to one initiative. You saw a UP do grad UP, you saw a Houston North come along, you saw a Tomball 2020, you saw initiatives just pop up and individuals just figured out a way to make it work. And that's what we're asking for you now. We're trying to get to a goal, 25% for the fall 25 cohort, and I know that we'll be able to get there if we all work together. That's all I have, you all. Y'all take care.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Wright.
I'm gonna hand it off to Christina Hagerty.
Gotcha. So your work is important, it matters, and we will be sending out some information on a template for those 3 course pathways. We will be sharing that later on. So you have work from, if you're a goal 5 owner or T structure, and as well as goal 2. But again, we will be sending out those messaging. Next, I'd like to welcome Amy Ramirez, our executive director. Oh, any questions? Sorry.
Yeah, so we do have a few questions that have come in for Dr. Wright. I know that we are right at 10 a.m. and everyone is interested to get to their teams. What we can do is, if you are willing to stick around and Dr. Wright is willing to stick around for a few minutes, we can answer some of those questions live. We also have them. We'll give them to you, Dr. Wright. Amy will give them to you, and to prepare some responses to go out.
Stay a few minutes to get some answers to some of your questions for Dr. Wright. There were many. Are you willing to stay a few more minutes? Okay, great. All right, if you're willing, we're gonna put you in the hot seat.
All right, I was trying to run out of here real quick. All right, go ahead.
Okay, I got it. Yep.
What question?
The first question was, does retention include re-enrollment via students transferring to 4-year institutions or just re-enrollment at Lone Star College? I think you did address that.
Yeah, just re-enrollment at Lone Star College. Yeah, re-enrollment at Lone Star College.
The next was on the definition slide. Is it correct that dual credit students will be classified as first time in college when they enroll at Lone Star College after high school?
So that's the difference in iPads, yes. That's the major difference in iPads, is that and even students that enroll over the summer are first time in college in the fall. So that's the significant difference between what we have now with FTIC 0, what you normally see in Power BI dashboards. It's a great question.
Next, North Harris has a lot of workforce programs where students get a certificate and job in a year and do not return in the fall. How does the system take that into consideration?
So the good news is that once they get a credential, they have the credential. So a graduate means that if you finish your certificate, you're a graduate for us, right? And that's one of the reasons why, if you notice on the slide, North Harris was what, the second, third highest when it comes to graduation rates. We're going to be depending on North Harris heavily because of those workforce programs. It's a great question. Great question.
A couple more. Are non-degree seeking students included in the 150% grad rates?
No. I'm so glad somebody asked that question along the lines. We spent a lot of time working with the iPads data and trying to get it clean. The way we were classifying non-degree, some of those students got mixed in before in the reporting. So we've cleaned that up. With iPads, they only look for those who are degree non-declared students and not counted as part of iPads.
And then the final question, it says, it seems that some campuses are in the service area of high schools that have a higher focus on college readiness. Is this taken into consideration?
Yes, but it's a complicated one. It's a complicated one. So let me tell you, the thing is, the reason why I'm telling you it's a complicated one, at the end of the day, we need to hit the goal. And I can tell you, as a president of a campus who have a lot of kind of college, maybe preparation issues, we're well aware of it. The thing that our chancellor wants us to get to, and I hope that we do get to, is that ultimately, you hear a lot about one LSC. Ultimately, if we find things that are working, right, to be able to help a group of students, we need that to spread across. I've been thinking long and hard about getting a symposium together for G2 where we could share our best practices, you know what I mean? Because the thing is, I won't go into my whole speech that I always give my campus. Students are capable if we support them the right way. you know? And so the thing is, it's a puzzle. We just got to figure out a way to support them. So we can get there. We can get there. And all, so, but it's just one of those things we just got to figure out how to support students.
That's the final question.
All right, thank you all.
So good. I want to say thank you to everybody for being here, but OTS, they're amazing all day long. I really appreciate that you make this so seamless and smooth. Reminders, Professor Maturu is here. She has a lunch and learn, some incredible information from her work on, it's not Design Lab anymore, it's Design Lab, Innovation, yes, that. So it's about the proctoring, LSC Proctoring Center. So it's a big thing. Please join. Lunch is going to be amazing. A lot of important training opportunities for you. You can join via the link that's on the agenda. You can also join in person. Lots of great things happen in person. So please take advantage of those. And if I can do nothing else for you, lunch starts at 11:30, and then we're going to have the cookie, the dessert, as a break in between those Toolbox topic sessions. So please join us. Thank you. Thank you.
Take care. Thanks, Ed.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Thank you.
English and math, stay here.
English and math teams, we have that meeting arranged in this room in just a few minutes. English and math teams.